Good evening, all the masters, my dear friends and gods. Great pranamas to our Guruji Rangnath sir, to our Grandmaster Maharshi Patriji sir, and Great Grandmaster Mahavatar Babaji. Uh, Mahavatar Foundation welcomes you all for the free 21 days holistic wellness program, batch 14, day 15. So we are already in the day 15. Today's schedule is spiritual topic wisdom shared by Wisdom Share Thinking and Destiny Part 2 by Madam Saroja Mallikarjuna, and Holistic Lifestyle Wisdom Share 12 Step Health Test Part 2 by Madam Deepika, followed by meditation. Uh, Today it's a continuation of yesterday's topic. In part 1, Saroja ma'am had taught us about introduction of Arthur Harold W. Pesner. It says about fetus learning, four-step problem solving, how we have to take care of the problem with 4 steps, and how we have to be conscious of the consciousness, and point to remember. We should not react to the situation, just respond to it. And she taught us about emptiness and not to think, and position of souls or something like that, and so on. Now she'll be taking over, and she'll be continuing with the topic. It's up to you, ma'am. You can take it over.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And good evening, all my masters, friends, and dear gods. A lovely evening to all of you. We are going through, or we are reviewing the book called Thinking and Destiny. So it is as simple as it sounds, but still it is not as simple as it sounds, because this experience shared by Harold W. Percival, it took him 20 years to put it into words, the experience he had. This one book is his 20 years experience, masters. So here, we are going to learn from his experience, but each one's experience will be different. What he says is, when he was in the mother's womb, since then, he is able to see his consciousness, his light. And through his light, he could even see what was happening outside the mother's womb. Still, when he was in the womb, his body had not yet formed. But whatever he heard, he could completely perceive the concept, what was being spoken of. He could picturize it, he could feel it, he could prepare an image of it, he could see the color of it. It was that clear. Now, in order for all of us to tap that light or tap that consciousness, he says consciousness is in the form of a bright light, because he had an experience of his consciousness once when he was walking. And how was the consciousness? It was like millions of suns shining together. It was that bright. So our consciousness is a bright light. So when light falls on any object, obviously it is a logical thing to understand. Like whenever a light falls on an object, we can clearly see that object. Similarly, he says, if you, not only an object, if you have any problem, if you throw the light of your consciousness on the problem. So how do you do that? That is one power each person has, to use his light. And for that, you have to prepare, my dear masters. So he says we are always, in our development is seen in 3 stages. The doer stage, then you have the mind body. So from the doer stage, first is body mind, then is feeling mind, then is desire mind. So when you have body mind, you are having experiences only from the body. You won't have the consciousness experience. Then when you start feeling and then you start understanding things, then you are activating your feeling mind. What happens actually when you are traveling in this path? By traveling in this path means starting the quest of spiritual journey. What are you going to ask in that way or in that path? Who am I? What am I? Why did I come here? What am I doing here? These are the questions that will be arising when we are walking on that path. And that is why the book I am referring to here is The Great Way. It's a way, it's a path. So, what path? From the body consciousness to the consciously observing our consciousness. That path, how to walk through that path. So, we have to transform ourselves from body mind to feeling mind to desire mind. So, is it one after the other? He says no. These all journeys happen simultaneously, together, at one time, sometimes, in the form of experiences. So you have to see the experiences in your life just as experiences. We don't have to learn from it. That is what he is saying here. We don't have to learn from it. It is not a punishment. Don't think it is karma. So don't judge the experiences you are having. You have taken the form of a physical body to have those experiences, and that's all. Full stop. And every time you have an anxiousness to know about some experience, you take birth and have that experience. That's all. It is like a one person having many degrees. Some people are there who are very happy having many, many degrees, learning so many things. Similarly, a human soul, when it takes the form of many different humans, in every birth he is learning something. He is very happy. The soul wants to learn. That's all. It doesn't want to prove anything. But having these experiences, how many you will have? There comes a point you will have a saturation. Saturation means, bas baba, enough. I want to know what is next after all these experiences. So now today we are going to see that after all these body experiences, we are going to tap our psychic mind, the thinking mind. So psychic nature will control our mental activities. So how is our mental activities? That he means to say to observe the thought. So these are the words which we can understand very well. So I'm going to change some of the words according to our wisdom, our growth, our level of understanding. Okay. So here, when he says psychic nature in his mental set and activities, before he can enter the great way. So in order to grow in spirituality, what are the psychic nature? So for that, he says there are some standards to have a psychic experience. Here, psychic in the sense which experience cannot be had with the body masters, which is out of the body experiences or other than body experiences are all psychic experiences. So in order to have that, what is the first criteria or characteristic one should possess? He says you should be very honest and truthful to yourself. That should be the foundation of your character. So the standard for a psychic nature of a person is that he should be very honest and truthful. Then he gives a few more characteristics to develop here. He says, after his great discovery, the man, when he discovers, so he calls it a great discovery. After his great discovery, he desires to look for light within. When the saturation comes, you don't want experiences. Now you want to know what am I, what is inside me. Then you find that it is light. So after this great discovery that you are light, now what has happened? Now his desire is to look for that light within. I am light, but am I able to see my light? So this is the new desire a person will start having when he is growing in the spirituality. Now that saturation point of not having more experiences, He said, no, I don't want any experiences, but now he wants more experience. But it is in a different level. Now he wants the light experience. So the soul wants the experience of consciousness. So the saturation point, he has used some wonderful words here. He says the saturation is a saturation with the world. When I said experiences ka saturation, he says it is the saturation of world sickness. You are fed up with this world. Then you go into the saturation point. Like all the experiences you are having, you say, bas baba, ho gaya. It's not that interesting. After birth, I'm learning the same thing. I'm no more interested in all this. There are many souls who say this, yes, master. Now they don't want experiences in this form. When they know it is my choice, now they are changing their choice. So now the seeker will walk on the path. Now he wants light. First, he will get little light. To get that little light, he has to take some mini steps. And during those steps, sometimes there are missteps, is what the author says. When we are, yes, very true, friends. When we are on the path of spirituality, we don't have to rush, to take very, very careful, small steps. And sometimes we take missteps. Missteps here, he means you fail sometimes. He says often. Oftenly, he fails. And if he continues his efforts for the inward life, then he will go on. So he here means any person who is the seeker. So the psychic standard requires some moral qualifications. So when he has these moral qualifications, he is eligible to travel further in the psychic plane. So what are these psychic standards? It is fineness of feeling. He says the feelings, you should be able to understand the fineness of feelings. Like even the faintest of the feeling can be understood when you are in the spiritual path. You don't want someone to explain to you something. You have you become an expert in understanding the feeling. So for that, again he says, for that, it requires some psychic power. So the finer side of all the four senses, when it is employed, it means when you use your four senses. When you use your four senses, then your psychic power, very easily you can empower it. So what are the four senses? He says his mental quality must be such that dishonesty and untruthfulness are abhorrent to him. He should not like to be dishonest and untruthful. He will not be untruthful and he will not tolerate it all. Then he says deceit, hypocrisy, pride, vanity, arrogance must be strangers. You should not have one small inkling of these qualities. It should be strangers. It means you should not have it at all. You should not know what it is. That is hypocrisy, pride, vanity, arrogance. You should not have these qualities. Then because he's very beautifully penning them down, master. Now he says the third one is that he must be honest to oneself. He should be self-contained. He should be modest with all, not only in some situations. So he should be modest with all. He should be self-contained. He should be honest with himself as well as for the others. In the first point was with others. Now he should be honest with himself also. Then his mental attitude must be present, friendliness. So he says friendliness is his quality. To have psychic powers, a person should have all these qualities. That is, he should be truthful, he should be, here they are using all negative words here. So I would rather put it this way. Instead of saying that such that dishonesty and untruthfulness are abhorrent to him, let me convert this sentence into affirmative sentence without using any negative words. While reading itself, it is so discouraging and so sad when I read this, like, oh my God, so many bad qualities. Let us not talk about bad qualities. What are the good qualities we should possess is to have psychic powers, that you should be honest, you should be truthful, not only to yourself, but unto others also. And then the third one will be, you should not have hypocrisy. That means, again, you are very truthful. Opposite of truthfulness is hypocrisy. So you have to be not having a single percentage of hypocrisy. They should be strangers to you. These qualities should be strangers to you. And the next one is friendliness. So this is a beautiful point. When you are friendliness, when you are friendly with everyone, your psychic powers increase. It's so beautiful, na friend? So this is how, if you are friendly with everyone in general, then you will recognize and you relate. This is that. Then you recognize everything because you're friendly with everything. You're not going to comment or discourage anyone. You will be in the process of how do I put this? Like, you will be accepting it. When you're friendly, you accept it. You don't oppose it. So if they relate to the way, no, I'll not read it because it doesn't make sense when I read it. Okay. So when you have all these psychic qualities, he says here, you start receiving the light of the intelligence. Till now, he was saying we have the light of consciousness. Now, when you have all these qualities, your psychic powers will increase, and then you will see the light of intelligence. So we are going one step after the other masters. So now his mental state has reached a little higher. Now he is saying some secrets here. He is going to share some secrets. He is saying the standard for the body, so a standard body type is that it can have, it has preserved the germs of 13 lunar months. It masters the language used here, and the intelligence is of another level. So, in order to interpret his wordings, it will take a long time, and we have very less time. So, I'll try my best as much as possible. I'll try to cover that. Because this point was very different. We had never come across this point, so I have included it here. He says that a standard body of a seeker, or otherwise also, his body has the germs of 13 lunar months. What does he mean by germs of 13 lunar months? So every lunar month, every month we are accepting something from the universe in our body. But ordinary nervous system, the ordinary matter in our brain, if it is not in the spiritual level, or if it is not having the psychic powers, you will not have all the germs of 13 lunar months. He says the ordinary nervous matter cannot hold a lunar germ more than 1 month. So when we are practicing, that is why every month we renew our energy masters. We cannot say like, yeah, this month is very auspicious, like for our Indians, Shravana, Kartika. Let me do 1 month upvasa. Let me do 1 month sadhana. Every month has a different germ in it. So the body requires all these germs, but it can hold only 1 lunar germ in 1 month. It cannot hold more than that. And then it has to preserve the other 13 germs. So for that, how should that person's capacity be? He says, to preserve the other 13, a new, a special, a finer, fourfold nervous structure has to be grown inside you, which is not there. In common man, it is not there. Now you have to grow your inner structure in such a way that you can hold all the 13 germs of the lunar month. So what happens? Why is this lunar month germs very important here? The uh, the reason he gives here is all these lunar germs will help us remove all the Arshad Vargas from our body. We know them as Arishad Vargas. Here he has given a list of almost 25 to 30 qualities, masters. If I read them, it will be really shocking because I find them all negative terms. So I'll surely read it. He says, malice, malcontent, encrust, rancor, tears, hatred withers, envy rots when you have these 13 germs. So if you have this envy, jealousy, greed, some of the words I don't even know, salaciousness, anger, and then he says meanness, fretfulness, restlessness, unsteady, sullenness, and gloom, despondency, and fear, cowardice, and lust, cruelty, and many more. All these qualities or characters which are scarring our nervous system. Now you have to refine it and get the other 13 lunar germs so that it becomes a new, special, and finer fourfold nervous structure. So by building this character, we are going to completely modify our nervous system. Then what will happen when this is done? With the finer nervous structure, again negative words. He says ingratitude shuts off the light. So we have to be grateful to the light. If you are in gratitude, then it will shut off the light. It will leave one in ignorance of his relation with the true self and humanity. So if you don't have this finer nervous structure, then you will not have gratitude. If you don't have gratitude, you will be living in ignorance. And if you are living in ignorance, then you will not get to know your true self. And also you will not get to know the humanity part. So in order to have a healthy body, we should have all the 13 lunar germs in us and have a finer nervous structure. So then what happens is the body has to be strong and healthy. One should be, he says, temperate, moderate. Should not eat too little or too much. Also, to have this fine nervous structure, beverages, whatever they are, you drink, but you must be free from alcohol. Your beverages should be free from alcohol. So he says alcohol is not good for the finer nervous structure. The body must not sleep too much or too little. It must not be abused by fasting, discomfort, or other kinds of asceticism. Like when you do some ascetic performances, you actually physically torture yourself. He says, you are not supposed to do that. Torturing the flesh will not bring anyone to or near the great way. So all these days we have been thinking to walk on the great way, we need to torture ourselves. Give up the clothing. Don't wear clothes when you're in Himalayas. Walk barefoot. If your feet is bleeding, it's good. You have to bear with it. Then you don't get food. Don't have food. You're not supposed to eat 3 times meals. Even today, people are following that. Here, he says, no. In order to have the fourfold nervous structure, you shouldn't be doing all this. Because the body must be strong and healthy. And that is why to be strong and healthy, eat little, moderately, sleep little, moderately, stay away from alcohol, stay away from any fasting and discomfort. Don't give any discomfort to this body, and don't torture it also. The body must be kept healthy and strong, and all that is necessary for this is steady living of simple, temperate, and chaste life. That means when you follow all these things, you will be living a very simple life. You will be living very temperate life. You're not doing anything too much, and then you are having a chaste life. So during the thinking, living, and striving, then which is the special preparation for entrance to the great way, the body undergoes certain changes. So during all this process, actually, there are changes happening inside us. Where is it all the changes happening? Friends, we have glands in our body. The changes start from the glands. He says the thymus gland becomes active and it works with the thyroid, gut, because we are having proper meal, not eating too much, not less. The gut will be less of a sewer. So it will not be a gutter. So the gut will be a less of a sewer, and the stomach, duodenum, jejunum, ileum, ileum, colon becomes shorter and smaller. Because the more you feed your body, the more time it gets to digest, the more the body is prolongating its structure, body structure. So when you do all this less, all the organs are becoming shorter and smaller. So during the rounds of lunar germs in the body, the nervous currents are regulated by lunar germs and gradually strengthened so that a new and inner nervous structure grows up. So what are these nervous germs doing in our body? During the rounds of these lunar germs, he says, gradually it is strengthening the body. And then the nervous structure becomes strong. Why are we talking about these lunar germs? Because this is the way in the body, because we are traveling in three places. We are traveling through body, mind, and within the earth. Yesterday we saw that. There are three places this growth is happening. It is happening in the body, it is happening in the mind, and it is happening in the core of the earth. So here, he says that the way in the body, though it leads to immortal life, is a closed road and must be opened by a lunar germ bearing light. So we don't want only this body to be strong and healthy and living for years together. He says, no, if all this is leading to immortal life, then again it is a closed road. That is not we want. That is not our way. So don't wish for that. Like, I will become very strong, I will live healthy, I will live for many, many years. No, masters. So it has to be opened by lunar germ, which is bearing light. The form of the way in the body is hollow. So from the body, if you are going on a way, you are traveling a path, it is hollow. And there is a filament, a terminal filament inside. So your physical body becomes like a bulb. It is hollow inside and there is a filament in there. And then where is it actually placed in the body? He's saying it is placed in your spinal cord proper. Wow. He has seen that. He's not trying to say something which he has not experienced. So he's saying the way through the body, when you are traveling that way, is when the body becomes empty, hollow, and then there is a terminal filament in it, which is present in your spinal cord. Now this tube, this body becomes a tube light. This tube is now choked and sealed. You have seen a tube light, it is choked on both the sides. So it is choked and sealed wholly or in part and can be opened only by a light bearer, and that is a lunar germ. So the tube light is hollow, it has only one filament, and it is choked and packed on both the sides. Now, how is it going to open that light? Is by using lunar germ, which is having a light of its own. Now, when this lunar germ returns to the head at the completion of its 13th round, light issues from the solar into lunar germ, and there is a divine and a true immaculate conception. Now we'll get to know about some solar germ also. So I don't exactly know, it is not explained here what exactly he means by germ here. It is his understanding. Germ is like it is going to go there and do some work. What does germs do? Germ enter your body and they multiply and they spread and they become powerful. And similarly, I can't put it in any other word here because I don't know the right meaning. So I'm not going to use my intelligence here, masters. This is what the author is saying, that when a lunar germ, after descending from the right side, is not lost. Oh, we don't want all this. Okay, he's explaining how the germ is working inside this tube. We are that hollow tube. So how is it working? And then this lunar germ is going to be reinforced by the light of solar germ. So when the lunar germ and the solar germ, they convert into the solar germ. The lunar germ convert into the solar germ. Then there is a divine and true immaculate conception having taken place in that body. Oh my God, what a concept. Can we understand this part, masters? Yes, we are going to try to understand a little bit, right? So there is something happening in our body. Lunar in the sense it doesn't mean the moon energy. Here, the monthly energy was calculated related to moon. So every month, that is continuously, if there is a process happening inside us, using the sign here, when a sign is included in your description, does anything ring in your mind? The Kundalini Shakti masters. Here he is referring to that. It is his explanation. He is from the Western world. He is not going to use the word Kundalini because he is not referring to any words from anywhere. He is going to tell us only what he is seeing and what he is feeling, what is his experience. Now, we have to look at his experiences and put it into the words which we can understand. And here I am understanding that what is happening every month is the sadhana taking place with this body. How are we going to do the sadhana? Again, let us go to the previous page. Having less food, less sleep, taking care of the body. And then during all this process, after 13 months, 13 lunar germs means 13 lunar months, you are going to practice it. And then it is going to convert into that tube light will have a light of its own, so bright that it will be a solar germ. And then when the solar germ, the lunar germ is converted into solar germ. So solar is more powerful, more brighter than the lunar germ. We can guess that. Lunar is moon related, solar is related to sun masters. And we all know the moon gets light from the sun. And sun is more brighter than the moon. So he means to say when the light within you is going to glow more brighter and brighter and brighter after these sadhanas, what is actually going to happen? He says there is a divine and true immaculate conception. That is, the Kundalini is rising and rising and rising and reaching the Sahasrara. When it reaches the Sahasrara, it explodes into a bright light, masters. If you have read about Kundalini Shakti, how it works and how it shows its energy. The person who has Kundalini Jagrata and when it reaches the Sahasrara, it is just light. Just the way Harold had said when he saw his consciousness, how was it? Million suns, the brightness of million suns. Master, that is Kundalini experience. When the Kundalini reaches the Sahasrara, that is you, that light is you. So now, by understanding through the body all these developments, we are going to see what happens after all this. Uh, about the body part. Okay, when death has intervened between this floundering, he is reborn with inclination to recognize the futility of a outward life. So here he is talking not about only one birth. We are going to see about many births here. Because when you are into consciousness, you can see your past and you can see your future. So here the master is talking when death has intervened in your experiences, it is now interfering, it has intervened here. He will at some time in that or in next lifetime make the discovery again. So what here he's trying to say is, whatever journey you have reached, and now there comes the death. Your process is still going on, but your body time is up. So the death is intervening. So the process is not thrown into the dustbin. You are going to carry on your process in the next life. Whenever you're taking a new birth, your process is going to start from where you ended it. We all know that, Master. Spiritual journey is the only journey where you just keep on moving ahead. But other journeys, you keep on repeating in each birth. So spiritual wisdom, if you have learned something in this birth and you wanted to learn more, but the death has intervened and your journey has stopped abruptly, you take one more birth. No problem. You're going to come back and continue the same process. It's such a beautiful thing, no? So in a new life, it is natural for him to see that life is empty because he has experienced that in the previous birth. And when time comes, he will again make the choice for the road that will lead to the way. So now he is on the way, and every time death is intervening, every time he is going to take a new birth, and he knows that I have chosen to walk on that path. So nobody can take him away from the path. It is not like this birth, I have chosen a very spiritual lifestyle, and next birth again I am going to become a infant soul and learn everything from the beginning. That's not going to happen. So once he has made the discovery and made his choice, he will be led towards the way, even though he does not again make the discovery. In each birth, he did not make the discovery. What is the discovery? That I am the consciousness, my consciousness is the light, whatever discovery he is doing, he is making. So once he has made the discovery and made the choice of walking that path, he is always going to move ahead. Failures cannot prevent, they will only delay the findings of the way. So, okay, last birth I have made some progress. This birth, I do remember the progress, but here I am unable to move ahead. This birth, I am making some, I am facing some failures, which is preventing me from moving ahead. So, it can just prevent you. It can delay your progress, but it is not going to end. So failures are incidents, or sometimes they are unavoidable because of past thoughts. So these failures which you are facing in this birth can be because of the past thoughts, but they are blessings in disguise and they cannot hold back one who is determined to strive the way after he has made his choice. Such a wonderful thing, Masters. Failures are just some incidents happening in your life. Don't worry, nothing can stop you. They are unavoidable also, but they are blessings because it cannot hold you back because you have already determined to move on the way. When one enters the way, he is away from all his connections and associations. Now, nobody can stop him. Once you have made the choice of moving ahead, the great way, that is the spiritual path, The world in which he has lived is left behind now. Nobody can stop him. The human, by opening of the seal and entrance on the way, feels a great joy, such as he has never felt. Remember, you might have seen many people who are materialistically rich or materialistically poor. But when they step on this great path, they are very happy. You might be wondering, how can a person having all the luxuries when he's leaving it behind can be happy? Or you will see a person who is not having anything and still he is happy. We all wonder these two things. How can when, oh my God, he had such a huge property, he just donated and he is now walking the great path. How can one do that? How can you be happy? How can you give up so easily? There is happiness, masters. The one who doesn't have anything, how can he be happy? He doesn't have anything to eat and still he is happy. He doesn't have a good bed to sleep, but he is happy. He has not experienced any luxury. How can he be happy? Yes, he can be happy because if he has opened the seal and walked the entrance of the way, he has the feeling of great joy. The joy is not thrilling, spasmodic, or aesthetic. It is steady. It is not like, oh wow, and then it is going away. No, friend. This joy is steady because it is coming from the source within. It is not just coming, passing by. It's coming and going. That is not happening. This joy is not thrilling joy, but it is a steady joy because it is coming from a source within. And then when you are experiencing that joy, all the things you look around you are reflecting that joy only. You see anything, you are finding, you meet new people, you find the same joy. You're coming across any incidents in your life, you are finding joy in that. Here, the joy is feeling progressively safety and assurance that he will come into his own. And this joy can last for months. He can be forever happy. When is he happy? You understand, when the person is happy in any situation, he has stepped on the path. He has opened the seal. He has entered the highway, the great way. Now, gradually a new life will open. And then it will extend from within to the outside. It is not like he is going away from this world. Everything is different from what it seemed before now. His perspective will change. The world has not changed, but it looks different because he and his body are different now. He knows himself. He knows himself that how to be distinct from the nature and from his body. He knows the distinction. So this is the changes that is going to happen when you are on the path. He seems to be in the heart of the world, and before he felt its pull, now he feels its pulse. Beautiful. When you are in the world, you are not going anywhere. You are going to stay in the same world. All these days, you are feeling a pull. You are not liking it, staying in this world. Now you are feeling the pulse of the world. You are going to enjoy it. There is joy in everything. Before, only the outer world could act on him. Now an inner world, the form world, begins from within to open to him. So he is going to observe the inner world also. By feeling this new world, he is able to feel the nature in physical world and how things act and move as they do. So he is going to understand all the secrets of the world, masters. When you're on the path, these are all the new things happening around you. So this will be your inner world, the form world, the new world. So he can feel the crystallizing of the mineral. He can feel the seeding. He can feel the feedings and growing and dying of plant. So he can feel everything what is happening around him. The impulses and instincts of animals, the movements of the earth, and of water and of air, and all the influences coming from and going to the sun and the moon. So he is able to watch everything and understand everything, how it is working, what is happening. All that becomes very, very easy for him to feel. Just like he said, when he was in the mother's womb, he could feel it. That shows that since his birth or before his birth, he is on the great way. And that is why he could feel and sense everything around him. So when a person is on the great way, he can see everything from the mineral kingdom to the plant kingdom to the animal kingdom, and also all the other celestial bodies, how they are working. Also, he's saying the interaction between the planet and the beings in the on the earth. So interaction between the planets, other planets on and on the beings of the earth, and also the relations of the stars to the mankind and the universe. So what else is left here? He's understanding all the secrets of the universe. So he can feel it as if he has created the world, as if all the secret is in his pocket. He feels all these in their four zones, working within the four system of his fourfold body. So, lot of information in one sentence. Okay. So he's feeling all these four zones working in the four system in his fourfold body. He feels the organs of his system working in the universe. So whatever organs are there, so we are a big body. The whole of the universe is one body, and he can feel all the organs of the universe, how they are working. The inner side of the four senses seeks to manifest. Yes, masters, we are the creators. Here he says, when you sense all this, when you sense all the creation, now your four senses inside you, the inner side of the four senses, it will seek to manifest. It wants to manifest now. It wants to create now. The senses begin to act in the fluid, airy, and radiant state as they did in the subdivisions of a solid state. Okay, this is a little very dense wisdom, so I will not go through this. What actually happened when the creation took place, they are trying to explain it here. He is trying to explain it here, Masters. So there are various changes in the organs of the body and their functioning when you are progressing on the way, Masters. So when you are having this journey, there will be, that is why we are getting our diseases cured, and we are able to tap into our energy and make changes in the circumstances around us. Why is it happening? Because there are changes happening inside us when we are on this great path, great way. The kidneys become less active in the work. See, when all the systems slow down and they know their work, they will surely be healthy. And by being slow, it is always showing that their lifetime is going to increase. So here he says the kidneys become less active and the testicles and ovaries are drawn towards them. So they kind of shrink. The bloodstream gradually ceases to build and maintain the body. So bloodstream also is slowly stopping to maintain the body. It acts more as a conveyor of nervous force than a carrier of nutrition. All these days, the blood was carrying the nutrition. Now it will work for only the nervous force. There is a nervous structure happening in the body when you are on this path, on this way. What is happening is actually the nervous system is going to kind of reprogram into something different. All these days we knew this body was getting food. All the parts of the body are like the parts of the a factory going on here. It has to keep it running. So they are the parts which keep on moving. and keep this body in a running condition. But here, he says that this body is not just to keep it in a running condition, but for a other higher purpose, that is to help the psychic power to enhance. So, in order to divert all the energy towards the psychic power, then the physical body has to cease its working. It has to not stop, because if it stops, then the body is dead. So it is slowly reducing. So the body is not only for gaining nutrients from all the other sources. So he says, yes, the body needs nutrition. Here, the nutriment is taken by the breath directly from the four states of the matter. We don't need to really feed this body with one food, then digest it, and then get that energy. Instead, directly from all the four matters available in this universe, or in this world, or on this planet, can be just had by breath, by breathing. The brain takes and sends impressions more easily than was possible before. So when you are on this path, it becomes more easy for the brain. The spinal cord takes on more and more appearance of a brain structure. Now, you don't have one brain now. You become so active that your spinal cord is also going to act like a brain. Its central canal becomes larger, and the terminal filament, that is the Sushumna Nadi. Let us just not forget what we know, because he is trying to explain to us some things in his own language. But we do know that subject a little bit. So let us understand. He is saying the central canal becomes larger and the terminal filament is greatly enlarged. And its the central canal is widened and reaches to the very tip of the filament. That means from the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara, it becomes an easy passage because that passage is going to enlarge. That means it is going to become very easy to travel, and that brightness, that tube light in us, the tube in us is going to be filled with the light. So where is the tube light? Not here, in our backbone. Usually we say tube light kahan hai, band ho gaya kya? So no, masters, it's such a beautiful and very easy way, because we are having already some wisdom. We may get little confused, but those who don't have any wisdom about this Sahasrara and Mooladhara or the Sushumna Nadi can very well connect to what he's trying to say, that there is a tube in our backbone, and when we reduce our food intake and when we are on the path, that tube now becomes your second brain, and it can very easily and lighten up the filament in it. The intestine tract ceases to be feeding tube and a sewer, and the anus disappears. So what is the intestine works, master? Only one thing. It is like a drainage pipe from the mouth to the anus. It is just going to just pass on the food. So here he is saying that it will cease to become a feeding tube or a sewer, and when it is not working, there is no necessary for the anus. The stomach and the small intestines are then superfluous and disappear, it seems. We don't need these organs. We are in this world, what we are doing right now is we are keeping all these organs super active by always giving it some or the other work. By keep munching some things, we are eating stuff in the name of breakfast and snacks, midday snacks and mid-meal snacks. So the real purpose of these organs has increased. When you give more duty, it is like creating a market. You have created a market of these organs. You are giving it work, and so it is working. And when you are on the path, you don't need all these. When you're not having food, you don't need your stomach, you don't need your intestines, you don't need your what else is there? The brain, bloodstream, the kidneys. We don't need any of the organs of the body. So every body part is going to change. When does this happen, masters? let us look into the lifestyle of the yogis in Himalayas. What are they doing? Not having food, not taking in any liquid, just living on air, their breath, because that breath is sufficient. They are getting all the required nutrients for this body, because without body, they are not going to have that experience. And when you are not having food and not digesting anything, when you don't give work, the organs in our body, they start shrinking. And after some time, they disappear from your body. It is proven by some science uh, researchers that some organs in our body, because we are not using them, they are now not present in the new human body which is born. Right now, everyone knows about an organ called appendix. Even the doctors don't know the function of the appendix. Why was an appendix present in our body? Only the Vedas or Vaidyas who are having the science of ancient science of medicine, they have an explanation for that. The modern science doesn't have it. And say, so they don't even hesitate to just cut it and remove it, saying that it doesn't have any function, it doesn't have any role to play in this body. So you give less work, they will stop working. So the proper choice for the humans is the threefold way, the great way, and not to issue into the form world. Don't get attracted to the form world, that is the materialistic world. This choice is the choice to continue until the light body issues and the the true self. The twin self is a twin self complete and is a being of a form and the life and the light world. One sentence, very heavy. So he's saying the choice is made by a person until he becomes a light body, until he reaches his true self, until he reaches his true complete self. Then, till that time, you continue doing this. So, to go on, the human must develop a life body and a light body, in addition to the form body and the physical body. So, the choice is the actual decision, Master, he says. You have to make a choice. You have to make a choice in which body you want to continue in this lifetime. A life body can be developed only if human, long before he enters on the form path, desires to know who he is and what is in him is permanent and continuously conscious one. That is identity and knowledge. So the life body purpose is, the life body can be developed only if the human being. So this body has to be developed in a proper way. It can be developed in a proper way only when he enters a form path and he knows, he desires to know, who am I, what is in me which is permanent, and continuously being one with the conscious. That is the purpose of a life body, masters. That is why we take life here. Now, when one makes a choice, the illumination starts taking place in your body. After the illumination has come, the mental atmosphere in which the light has been diffused, that light becomes more clearer. So nicely explained in just one sentence. That you make a choice, you get the light. You know there is light inside you. You want to know that light, make that choice. If you make a choice, illumination is going to take place. See, if I want to switch on a bulb, it is my choice. Yes, I want, and I switch on, and I get light. It is that simple. So, and after putting on the switch, what is going to happen? The illumination. What happens when there is light? There is no darkness. The mental atmosphere in which the light has been diffused, it is spread all over. It becomes more clearer. The subject, the doer thinks about, or are shown by the light. Darkness and ignorance flee before the light. And he understands the inner working of all things. Because of the light he has, his comprehensions takes place of apprehensions through the four senses. So now because of the light, his four senses also will work, not comprehensively, but apprehensively. The feeling mind and the desire mind take place now and answer all the purpose of seeing and hearing. Why does this body have eyes? Why does this body have ears? Why does this body have all these five senses? So more of the thinker, no, let me leave that. Now when the person knows of his powers, but he also knows that he should not use them. These powers come from thinking in connection with rightness and reason. So now you know you are the light. Now you also know that when I throw this light on something, I get an answer to many things. Now you know I have that power. But after that, we are again going a step by step, master. Yes, it is here. The author says, after knowing your power, you should know that you should not use them. These powers come from thinking in connection with, how are you thinking? In connection with righteousness and reasoning. So all the thoughts have to be balanced. So after the illumination, we have to work on our real thinking method. There is nothing to prevent the real thinking. Thinking with righteousness and reason holds the light steady towards the subject. So when you think right, your light is always steady. It will not flicker. The doer on the way now thinks with the mind for feelings and desires and for righteousness and reason. So when you get an awareness, master, you cannot make any mistake. You have to be always more attentive, more aware. So using that power for righteousness and for some reason. Without reason, you're not going to use it. All four minds work harmoniously and they are in union. So this is how a doer body becomes a thinking body, master. Thinking body and a desire body all together. They are not separate. They are not in a different phase. It is just a process. Oh my God, we have to listen to this again and again to understand it, the concept, what is trying to say, master. It is not an easy subject here we are dealing with. Now we'll come to an end, and with this today I will end the session, masters. The end of the way. Does this path end somewhere? Yes. The master says there is an end of the way where you are completely knowing yourself, your true self. So by the time the body has completed with the development of the light body, the end of the way of thinking is attained. Now you control the mind of selfness. Now you are perfect, immortal, and sexless physical body. So then you become a complete person. Now, when you are complete, you will be a perfect person. You are immortal and you are not having any sexual physical body like I am a man, I am a female. You will not have that thought. At this time, the portions of the thinker and the doer not in contact with the body. See, when you will say, I am immortal, I am man, I am woman, when you are connected with the body. But when at a time where the thinker or doer is not in contact with the body, then you know that you are at the end of the way. You have completely understood your true self, because our true self is neither male or female, masters. So when you start feeling that way, when you start understanding that, you can say that you have understood your complete self. You have seen your complete self. So, mm, Oh man, this subject shouldn't be done in 3 days. So, yes, masters, all these are again in detail saying something or the other, not related here now, right now. Okay, so yes, time's up. Also, one last thing I would like to share this part. Where is that? Huh. When you see this light, when you are beyond that self, beyond the body, you go into the oneness. It is onness or inness. This is how he is explaining here. If there is a new world now where you will be onness or inness. What is happening? You come to a new world inside the earth's crust. This will be your third level of understanding yourself. A world existing on many levels. So we are always looking at the world which is on the outer crust of the earth. But now, when you become an immortal, when you become that one bright self, not that body, then you start seeing what is below the earth's crust. At first, and that is why there is onness and inness. Onness is on the earth or in the earth. So this new world is like a space in the sponge. Have you seen a sponge? It looks like a big mass, but there are gaps in between. You can go and stay there. So there are some chambers and passages, hundreds of miles long and high. Some are like small pockets. They are structures of they are structures of floors and walls in different densities. They are also made of, some are made up of metal and some are very porous. And they are the lightness of the foam. And that is how the earth crust is, masters. The ongoer, it means the one who is staying on the earth, sees great mountains, vast plains, fluids, and he sees surface of water. He will see in lakes in 100 miles. No sun, no moon, no stars are seen. There is no visible central source of light, but he sees either the distinct roofs of the chamber or the limitless air lit by an inner earth light. So there is another world inside the crust of the earth. We are all living masters. So he's saying when you achieve that state, then you start living there inside the crust of the earth. How is it? There it is dark. You think it is dark. No. It has a inner earth light. There may not be any sun, there may not be any moon, no stars, no central lighting source like the sun outside. You have only chambers and chambers. You are seeing only walls and walls. So there is no night, there is no day. And there are no shadows because of that. And he travels on foot and at times in vehicles made of metal and compositions drawn from the air, gliding with the speed over the ground. So there are vehicles also moving around inside the earth. He travels on water in a boat propelled by water force. He crosses oceans, one below the other, greater than the Atlantic and much deeper. So he's saying there are much deeper oceans inside there. The ongoer sees forests, single trees, plants, they're all arranged, they grow on the earth, but there is much that would seem strange to human beings. Some leaves are geometrical in form, some are globular, some are 20 feet long, and there are edible flowers, fruits, grains, some are cultivated, and some grow wild within this earth. He sees animals, some of them like those on the outer crust. So what animals you are seeing on the outer crust of the earth? Similar animals or different also present in the inner core of the earth. So he says there are again levels in that inside the earth. On the level nearest to the outer crust are some ferocious beasts, and the inner and the regions farther inside, the animals are strange but docile and friendly. The types of animal forms are furnished by thoughts of human races. So how did these animals create? All by thoughts. In some places he says shades of persons, whose life on the earth crust, death has ended. So the people who have completed their life on the crust of the earth, they are having their shades or shadow persons are inside that earth. They are no longer attracted to their earthly haunts or decaying bodies. They don't remember all that, what they did on the earth plane. The shades are the breath form, the four senses, but without the light of intelligence. So that is all the lower lokas, masters, we are talking about here. So here the master is talking about the lower lokas and the residents there. Who are they? From where they are coming? All that is mentioned here in detail. Wow, he is giving so much of explanation here. How there are landscapes, and he says that also there are shrieks and wails and orgies. There is sometimes there is emptiness. There is no sensation in there. There are some spiders with wicked eyes. There are vampires, crabs, wolf-like forms with horns. They are all mixture of animals. Sometimes he will see a lion eating grass, and you will find a goat eating meat. So animals there may look like the animals on the surface of the earth, but they are behaving very differently. So he sees other things which have come from the outer crust, who are called ancient and dead. They develop into a personal god or gods or nature. I don't know why he's saying that. Okay, when they were on the earth, they have worshipped their gods devotedly, irrespective of the reasonable or universal moral code. And now, often against the reason shown, the conscience forbade, now they are worshipping that deity here in this world or in under the crust of the earth. What was not allowed on the earth, they are living that inside the earth. Here, he says they prayed for favors and did not conquer themselves in their thinking and in their thought. In their thought, they went out the light of intelligences. So when people lose the light of intelligences, they go into this inner world, which is the inside the crust. Here, the deities are insatiable, and lots of things are done, told here, masters. Not necessary, I guess, because unless we read it in detail, we'll not know in what context he's mentioning all this. So yes, for today, I think this is enough. The other part I'll cover tomorrow. Yeah, yes, we can do that tomorrow. The beautiful part we'll do tomorrow, masters. Okay, so this is it for today. Yes, you may not have grasped what I was trying to say here because it was so complicated. I myself have read this one page for 3 to 4 times before I started discussing it here. Please go through the video again and again, and then get to know the secret of what Harold wants to tell us. We need to know this secret, masters. The time has come to know the light within us, because we are all light beings. There is a light within us. That is our consciousness. And we are born with the birthright to know our consciousness, but we are forgetting that. So the masters like Harold try to awaken us from our sleep. So if possible, go and read this book, masters. If not, go and read, go and hear the ebook in your language, which you are able to understand, so that you get to know at least 10% of what he's trying to say. He has taken 20 years of his lifetime to give us this wisdom, masters. Can't we do a little from our side for us, not for others? He has done it for others. He didn't do for himself. He already had all those experiences. He need not, if he had not told anyone, it wouldn't have made any difference to him. But he wanted all the experiences to be shared to the world so that we open our eyes to the light within us. Okay, Masters, thank you very much, Mahavatar TV channel. Thank you, Lord, for giving me this opportunity, for reading this book. It was really wonderful book. Thank you, Ranganath sir. I'm doing this wonderful reading in other language also. So I'm gaining more wisdom by doing this. My interpretation changes when I do in different languages because I understand it much deeper when I do it in the other language again and again. So thank you. Good night and have a wonderful evening, my masters. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. It was we could not see the time only. It was going on and on and on. Thank you for the wisdom share. Like from the what you had taught, like what I understood is like body mind after going to saturation. It just doesn't want to feel any outer world things. It just want to go inside and seek the light. And when he sees the light, or when the gender bias, the sexuality, the about the internal organs, everything goes off. Just only the consciousness, only with the four elements, he can survive. So, and he can be immortal. That's the thing we understood,
Yes.
and we have to see more and more. More many times the video to know more and more things about this. And thank you for the wisdom, ma'am. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah. The Deepika ma'am will be continuing with the holistic lifestyle principle. No, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to thank Saroja ma'am for her wonderful wisdom share, and we are waiting for tomorrow. So that shows how involved you are and how interested to talk about that book. Like we took around 35 minutes more, but thanks to you, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, and all, and thank you to all masters for listening. So. And yeah, we wish to see you, to learn more tomorrow, ma'am, from you. Thank you so much. And I'll continue now the 12-step health test. Yesterday we had part 1, and now we'll have part 2. So do you have your yesterday notes that we have done for 4 points, right? Do you want to grab your book or paper, pen? Go get it. So we'll have the rest 8 now, okay? So I'll remind you again the steps we had yesterday. So the 12-step health test, this is like, we have learned already like 4 yesterday, and the rest 8 will do it tonight. So totally we'll be doing like 12 steps together now again, okay? So please circle the number that best describes your response. 0 is never, 2 is sometimes, 4 is always. So make your responses based on the last 2 weeks. So this test is for you to become aware of your current health status and not for anyone else to see, okay? This is only for you. So just like self checkup. So number 1, the first point. So my bowel gets cleared without any force. So that's the first step. So if your bowel gets cleared at least once every day during bathroom visit without using any extra water intake, then always choose 4. If it's like sometimes, then choose 2. If not all times, it's like 0, okay? And the second point, it's like if I'm at my ideal weight. So I'm neither overweight nor underweight. If you're happy with your weight, choose always 4. If you think you're like, I'm underweight, I'm overweight, or little away from that, choose 2. If you're far away from your ideal weight, choose 0. Okay? And we'll have the third one now. Yesterday we had all these 4, but I'm still reminding it. Okay, it's like a reminder. So the third step is like, I have clear skin, no acne or no skin problems. My skin is so clear. It's shining. Then give it 4. If it's okay, it's good. No pimples, nothing, it's good. Give it 2. If you don't think your skin is clear, give it like a 0. I think nobody likes to give it 0. Again, the fourth one. I feel highly energetic throughout the body. If you feel energetic and excited in your daily life without feeling any tiredness, give it 4. Give it the score 4. However, if you find yourself yawning like this, yawning frequently during the day, struggling to wake up, struggling to stay awake after waking up, or feeling tired, lazy, or lethargic, then choose a lower score that reflects your energy levels accurately. Now we shall move to the 5th point. So I experience a strong sense of hunger once or twice a day. If you experience true hunger, that is a rumbling sensation in your stomach, So 1 or more than once a day, give yourself a score 4. Yeah, a score 4. However, you always feel full, heavy, and you rarely experience hunger, choose a lower score based on your situation. So we have 2 types of hungers. Like hunger can be categorized into 2 types, like hunger of stomach and hunger of mind. Okay. We'll learn about hunger of mind. Hunger of mind is the kind that craves something spicy, salty, or sweet every few hours. Even though you have a complete meal, you have little cravings, like you want to have some spicy, sweet, or salty kind of things, junk food, like mostly. It's that feeling of wanting to eat again. Then it is the hunger of mind. So on the other hunger, like hunger of the stomach, it is a real hunger. So it remains consistent regardless of the food available. So here's a simple way to differentiate between a genuine hunger and the mind's cravings. If you were to place a bowl plain chopped cucumber in front of you, would you genuinely feel like eating this? If the answer is yes, it indicates the true hunger of stomach. So you don't feel like, is it tasty, like that. If it's true hunger, you feel it like you want to eat it. So if it doesn't indicate any hunger, if you see a cucumber slices, then it's the hunger of mind. Your cravings are like to have some salt or sweet, like to have like junk food kind. That's the hunger of mind. So based on this thing, score your level. Okay. A healthy person experiences real hunger at least once a day. That is the sign that the digestion is working well and the previous meal was properly digested. So until we feel hungry, it's better not to eat the next meal. Clear, right? Okay. So we'll move on to the next step. Number 6, the 6th step. Okay. I experience deep sleep at night. If you fall asleep within 5 to 10 minutes or when you go to the bed and get uninterrupted sleep at night without waking up in the middle, choose always 4. If you struggle to fall asleep or frequently wake up in the middle of the night, choose a lower score based on the frequency. Okay. So it is the time, like during sleep, your maximum healing, your body takes maximum healing at that time. And hence it's an important sign for good health. Your sleep quality also directly reflects the state of your mind. You'll have a good glowing face, right? If you have a good sleep, that sounds like you have a good glowing face, freshness, energetic in the morning when you wake up. So give it a rate, okay? Based on your level. So we'll move on to the next step, 7th step. No part of my body calls out for my attention. No part of my body calls out for attention. So that means if you do not experience any chronic pains in your body, and if you're able to move effortlessly without experiencing any discomfort in your joint or any other parts, choose always 4. So, however, if you experience any kind of pain in your body, such as in your shoulders, back pain, neck pain, stomach pain, joints pain, headache, any kind of pain, give yourself a lower score. So, how frequent you get those pains, that depends on to give it 2 or 0. Okay. If you don't feel any kind of pain, give it 4. The pain here is like, it's not after, if you run for a few minutes and then you feel pain, it's not that kind of pain. Even if you sit calm, even if you're sitting comfortably, that time if you feel any kind of pain, that's the pain I'm talking about. Okay. If you hurt something, or if you run, your legs could pain. If you go onto the stairs, your legs could have some soreness. I'm not talking about that. Even if you don't do anything, even in your daily life, if you're sitting and doing your regular things, you're feeling a lot of pain, that's the pain we're talking about. Good, right? Okay, so we'll move on to the next step. That's the 8th step. So I feel a sense of joy and find myself smiling and laughing during the day. I repeat it again. I feel a sense of joy and find myself smiling and laughing during the day. It's like joyful happiness. If you find frequently you're smiling, openly laughing, and experiencing joy, choose always 4. Okay, rarely. If you feel like rarely smiling or rarely laughing, not being able to embrace the simple joys of life, even for the small things, you don't get smile on your face. So that give yourself a less score. When your relationships are well nourished, when you don't hold grudge or ill feelings for anyone, inner joy becomes easily attainable. Okay, good, right? Shall we move on to the next step? Okay. So the next step is the 9th step. I wake up in the morning with excitement, looking forward to my day. Actually, you feel like very fresh and so excited, interested to take on your day. You want to move forward with your day. That's the thing. I repeat it again. I wake up in the morning with excitement and looking forward to my day. So if you feel very eager to start your day when you get out of bed in the morning, genuinely enjoying the work you do, choose always 4. That's a great sign, right? So however you find yourself lacking motivation when you rise in the morning, oh my God, like again, I have to go this whole day. If you have such kind of feeling, then you can rate yourself like how your feeling is, like always or sometimes, depending on that. If it's like always, 0. If it's sometimes, it's 2. And if you feel like you're very eager to start your day, then it's always 4. These are like health, how healthy you are from inside. These are the outward feelings you get. I think most of you experience this, right? So because based on real experiences, this tests are made. So now we'll move on to the 10th point. Good to go, right? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Pallavi. So 10th point is I am able to easily let go of unpleasant things that happen to me. I repeat it again, the 10th step. I am able to easily let it go of unpleasant things that happen to me. If there is some unpleasant, if some person is coming and scolding, even we don't do any mistake, let him go. He must get some maturity to how to behave, those kind of attitudes. If you have, then give it yourself 4. If you think, oh my God, why that person, why he is calling only me, not others? Is it sometimes? Then 2. Is it all times? It is 0. Okay, so that's the 10th step. Good to go? Okay. So now the 11th step. My mind is stable and it's not easy for someone to make me angry or annoyed. I repeat it again. The 11th step. My mind is stable and it's not easy for someone to make me angry or annoyed. So your mind is stable. So nobody can influence you. You're very strong. You're your own master. Then give it yourself 4. If somebody can disturb you very easily, if somebody can influence you very easily, if it's all times, it's 0. And if it happens sometimes, like sometimes I'm strong, but sometimes I get influenced, it's like 2. Give it yourself 2. If you consistently remain calm and composed, even in challenging situations, choose always 4. If you are quick to lose control of yourself and tend to react quickly, choose a low score. If it's sometimes 2, it's always 0. Okay? Shall we move on to the next step? The last but not the least, 12th step, okay? I feel genuine love for my close family and friends. I repeat it again. The 12th step, I feel genuine love for my close family and friends. Whether it's your spouse, if you're married, or whether it's your siblings, your children, your parents, or close friends, ask yourself, do you feel true, genuine love in your heart to them? Or it is merely superficial with no depth or sincerity? If you're not sincere in making love with your family, if it's always, then make it 0. If it's sometimes, make it 2. If you're like very true loving your family or your siblings or your friends, give it yourself 4. Right. So to determine if your love is genuine, consider the following indicators. Do you find yourself talking negatively about them behind their back? Are you even slightly jealous when they achieve great success? So do you respect their individuality, their opinions and choices, even if they differ from yours? That's how you rate, okay?
Yes. Do you have any doubt? Definitely have raised the hand.
Pallavi, your voice is not clear.
Rashekar ji has raised the hand. Do you have
Okay.
any doubt? I'm asking him.
Rashekar Garu, unmute yourself. So we have done with the 12 points. So each point is having 4 if you're totally satisfied. If it is sometimes, it's 2. If it's not at all, it's 0. So rate according to that. If you have any other questions,
No,
Radhavati
madam. It's
garu?
good, madam. Hello.
Yes,
Hi,
Rajshekhar
madam.
garu. Go
It's
ahead.
good, madam. Starting literally, I have not understand, but on 6 8 step onwards, I understand. It is we have to give ourselves only that marks.
Yeah,
What you
it's
have
yourself.
questioned, yeah.
Self-assessment.
What you have questioned for the question, we have to give the 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 steps,
Yeah.
4, 2, 3, 0 steps. I have understand, and it's good. And I am also less somehow we are in 4 steps, somehow we are in the second step. That is there, but we have to that what we have to say. Uh, we have to go through that all, madam, and
Yeah,
we
that's
have
what
to
I'm
learn that.
going to tell you. Yeah, that's what I'm going to
Yes.
tell you. We'll first
So many
mark
things
our total
we have
marks.
not learned. So many things we have not learned, madam. When you have said now first step, we have to learn so many things. Okay, we don't know that steps also. When you have the questions and you have the answers, that time only we have realized that.
Okay, so
So
what you
which one
didn't
is it?
understand, the first step, did you understand about the first step? Have you attended yesterday, right? It's very easy.
No, yesterday, no.
Yeah.
Yesterday I have attended, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
That's the reason. Yesterday we finished like 4 points, but again I repeated. That's the reason why I repeated. You can catch it. See your bowel movement. So you'll go to bowel. You know what is bowel movement?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Yeah, if your bowel movement is easily, if you every day at least once your bowel movement is free, like only if you have water, then you will get bowel movement. It's not like that. If you have a
Yes,
regular, like it's easy, then give yourself like 4. That is what it means.
yes,
Did you
madam. Yes,
understand?
madam. Yes, madam.
So did you understand all the points?
Yes, madam.
If you pay attention, no, you can easily catch it.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Correct,
So
madam.
I'll repeat all the 12 steps again. Okay.
Madam.
Yeah, sit in a make sure like you sit in a calm environment so that you can catch it. Okay. So I'll repeat all the 12 steps again. So my bowel movements get cleared every day without any force or without having lots of water. Like it's regular. Give it 4. If it sometimes happens, it's 2. If it doesn't happen daily, it's 0. That's how you rate. Okay, understand, right? And second step, I'm at my ideal weight. I'm not overweight. I'm not underweight. If I'm closer to overweight or underweight, give yourself 2. If you're far away to underweight or overweight, give yourself 0. If you're ideal, correct weight, not overweight or underweight, give it 4. Got it? Okay. So now third step. So I have clear skin, no acne, no skin problems, no pimples, like that. Skin is shining. Then give yourself 4 points. The rate is only like 4 or 2 or 0. That's it. No 1 and 3 in between. Either 4 or 2 or 0. So if you think your skin is clear, give it 4. If you think sometimes my skin is clear but not sometimes, then give it 2. If you think like my skin is not clear, I need my skin to get more clear. If you're not satisfied, then give it yourself 0. That is how you give your score. Okay. Now, fourth step. I feel highly energetic throughout the day. You don't feel any kind of yawning. You say yawning, right? Not like that. You don't feel any tiredness. You don't be lazy. You're very energetic throughout the day. Then you give yourself 4 every day. If you're energetic every day, give it yourself 4. Okay, sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes I'm lazy. Give it yourself 2. If you feel like I'm not at all energy, I'm so lazy, I like that. If you don't have any interest to do anything, then give yourself 0. That is how you rate. That is the 4th step. Now it's the 5th. So I experience a strong sense of hunger once or twice a day. You'll say, right? Oh my God, when will you finish your cooking, mother or wife or husband, depending upon your position. Okay. So in my stomach, rats are running here and there. You'll have that kind of feeling, rumbling, right? Rumbling. The sensation of rumbling happens. You're very hungry, like you want to eat even a cucumber, a sliced cucumber, or we eat some kind of raw vegetables like carrots, any kind. So you don't have any intention about the taste. At that time, you want to eat any good food like that. So then that is a true hunger. There are like 2 hungers, mind hunger and stomach hunger. I told you that. So if you have the true hunger and at least once a day you feel like very hungry, then give yourself 4. And sometimes if you feel like I'm hungry and sometimes I don't feel any hungry, then give it 2. If you don't at all feel any hungry, then give it 0. That's how you rate it. Okay. Now 6th, I experience deep sleep at night. So when you sleep once, when you go on the bed, if you fall asleep in 5 or 10 minutes and you wake up only in the morning and no in between, so give yourself, it happens always, give yourself 4. If it happens sometimes, give it yourself 2. If it doesn't happen like that, give it 0. That's how you rate. So do you want me to continue all the 12 now or 6 enough? Enough? Okay. No, you don't hesitate. Don't feel any shy.
Enough, madam.
Okay, I think you catch up the later one. You have only
Yes,
the... Okay. So
yes, I
how
clearly
about others?
understood, madam.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So how about
We
others?
have
All
to
are clear,
what we have.
right?
Yes, madam. Yes. Whatever question
Vedavati
we have
ma'am
to.
also has some doubt, I think. I'm unmuting.
Yeah, Rajshekar Garu is telling something. We'll ask him to
Okay.
finish. Yeah, Rajshekar Garu, you're telling something.
What we have to questions, we have to answer ourselves only, madam, first of all.
Keep it yourself.
Okay.
You don't have to let us know. Keep it yourself so
Yes,
that you'll
madam.
get some realization. So you'll realize how your
Yes,
health
yes.
is, and we will take in future. No, we will let you know. There's so many. I'll talk about that. That's what I'm here. Okay, I'll talk
Yes,
about that.
no, we have to clear question 4. We have to unclear question 2, and we have to full unclear question
Keep your score.
0.
Keep your score with
Yes,
you.
thank
So
you.
that keep your
Yes,
score
madam.
with you. I will let you know in which. What is your status, and then according to
Yes,
that you can decide like how you got to take care of your body and mind to be healthy.
yes, madam. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Pallavi, we'll ask Vedavati garu. Yeah, Vedavati garu.
Vedavati ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening, Deepika and Pallavi.
Yeah,
Good evening.
See, I have got 40 marks.
Wow, that's great.
Where am I?
You're in peak health, good health.
Oh,
Yeah, she will reveal the
I
scores
will
right
tell
now.
the answer. Okay, I'll tell the answer, and at last you can ask me questions. Okay, at last we will have question and answers. Okay, we'll finish up. So it's time to score yourself. Have you all total your score? Total your score. There are 12 questions, right? Total your score and be ready with that number. So ready?
Yeah, I think you are good to go.
Good to go. Okay. So it's time to score yourself now. So if you have like 40 to 48 points, then you are in peak health, good health, and maintain your good health. Okay. So congratulations for those who scored in between 40 to 48. I see smile in their faces. So good. A score in this range indicates that your current approach to life is working exceptionally well for you. So you're on a right track. Continue it. And who's having score about from 25 to 39, they're having average health, not bad, average health. So a score falling in this range suggests that there is a room for improvement. Fortunately, following the 7 habits outlined, they can make significant difference in your life. We will teach what are the 7 habits later, okay? And if somebody is having like 0 to 24 score, that is indicated like poor health, you don't have to worry anything. Don't keep it in mind like, oh my god, something is happening. Don't worry about that. It is like a caution that you got to take care of yourself so that your health gets improved in working in a couple of months. Nothing to worry about that. Okay. So a score falling in this range suggests that you may be facing or underlying health issues and experiencing overall well-being. We understand how it feels to receive a score in this range because we have been there before. So many were there before, but making some lifestyle changes, they achieved good health. So you can also, don't worry about that. So there are a few habits that show you amazing results in a short period, and I will explain about that. So you good with your score, friends, masters? You all good with your score, right? Don't worry if you have low score also. Nothing to worry. You should be like very thankful. Like okay, at least I knew that how to make how to make healthy habits to have a healthy life. Okay, it's a good time, right? So we'll see about that. So no matter where you are now in your health journey, the human body is such a great machine, or it's having such a great mechanism that it can change transitioning from a state of poor health to peak health in just a matter of few months. Okay, so there were many real experiences that changed to good health. When heard about the stories of transition that blows your minds. Okay, so there was a woman, her name is Seema. So she wasn't able to walk and her whole body was screaming if she tried to walk. And she started practicing Surya Namaskara. And imagine, like, after 4 months, guess what happened? She was able to do 40 Surya Namaskaras after just following habits for few months. And doctors even can't believe how her life got changed. And they started calling her living miracle. So it is not just she got her health back, it is also that she got her whole life back. So there are so many stories that people regained their ability to walk, their ability to breathe freely. So they were able to come to perfect shape with normal weights. So they thought like their previous dresses they can't fit, but they could fit in that, like by maintaining some healthy lifestyles. So they're back to normal. So others broke free from chronic ailments and able to sense much deeper joy and bliss that they hadn't experienced since their childhood days. So many said that it's not just their health improved, but their experience of life that was uplifted. So making few changes in all these 12 steps, like you heard like all the 12 steps, right? So eating only when you're hungry, when you're feeling hungry. So it's not like time to time eating. So if you had breakfast, so if you feel hungry only, then you have lunch, or else skip the lunch, like that. So and we have to give body some particular time, right? We have to give the body time to digest the thing that we had before. So and then only the body gets ready to digest the further food. If we keep on dumping more and more, it's like very lethargic to the body, right? So it can't take it. It starts giving some kind of motions or vomitings or some illnesses. It stores the undigested food, and that causes like many chronic diseases happening, right? So that's the main thing. So keep your intestines clean, and drink sufficient water. So our sir says like every 45 minutes you have to take 1 glass of water. So in the morning, do pranayama. Pranayama keeps your lungs healthy, your breath proper. So having a proper breath, it's good for all of your organs and proper functioning of your body, right? So all these steps, if you keep together, it's good. So if you should have some sunlight in the morning, and have sattvic food. Don't go for taste and all. It's only the matter with the tongue. The tongue is only this much, the body is huge, but we listen for the tongue, making ourselves trouble, right? So don't have more spicy, or don't have sugars and all. Sugars are like chemical based, so those are not vegetarian also. So have a lot of sattvic food, have proper sleep, and go outside, have a good walk in the sunlight and all. In the morning sunlight, not when the UV is high. Usually in the morning and in the evening, during sunrise and the sunset, the sun is good. So taking some simple lifestyle habit changes and all, you can do a lot wonders to your body. Listen to your body. So whatever your body says, you start listening, then that works great. There's so many things in future we'll learn about them. I don't want to take much time. So if you have any questions, come forward, masters. You may have any questions, you can ask me. So I think we got a clear idea like how we have to be in future, and we have to start to have healthy lifestyle changes to have a healthy life, right? So thank you so much, masters. If you have any questions, now come forward. Have you all understood how to take the test and all? Have you gone through well? If you have any questions, you can ask me, or we can have any other time. Same test.
Yeah, if we go through the video once again, in the peaceful mind or peaceful time, they can go through the test and they can do that by self.
Yeah, right. Yes.
I think, yeah, thank you, Deepika, for the wonderful wisdom, and what you taught is related to what Ma'am Saroja Ma'am has told, like having
Today
less
she covered
food and
holistic lifestyle also.
yeah, having less food and giving less work to all the digestive system, kidneys, all those things can increase our lifespan of the organs and lifespan of us as well. So that's the thing.
Body should be strong and healthy and moderate, like she was telling. Ma'am was telling. Yes.
I think we are good to go with the meditation, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll go for 10 minutes meditation. It's already 10:53.
We'll ask our masters, do they want 10 minutes or 20 minutes? Or your wish, Pallavi?
Yeah, masters. So how much time you need for the meditation? Put it in the chat box. 20 minutes. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with the 20 minutes meditation. Yeah, masters, choose a comfortable place for sitting on a floor or on a chair. For floor, you have to use a mat or a blanket. Sit in a sukhasana, clasp fingers like this and place it on the lap. If you are sitting on a chair with the clasped hands, back erect and cross the legs like this. Like this. You have to sit erect in both the positions. If you want to drink a glass of water, you can drink a glass of water. Switch off your lights and sit for the meditation. I'll start with the meditation music. We are following the Anapanasati meditation. Ana means taking in breath. Pana means out breath. Sati means observing the breath. So we just have to do nothing. No japa, no rechaka, no chanting, no mantra, no kumbhaka, nothing. We just have to observe the breath and do the meditation. I'll be starting with the music right now. This is Brahmarshi Patriji's music. Can you hear the music, masters? Last 2 minutes, masters. Last 1 minute, masters. Please come to the body consciousness.
Arm speed. I'm low.
Last 10 seconds, masters. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come to the body consciousness. Now slowly keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now slowly you can open your eyes with smiling face. See your palms and body. That was a wonderful meditation, right? Beautiful music by Patriji sir. Yeah. Today we had great wisdom share and beautiful meditation. We'll continue with the same topics tomorrow as well. Now I'll be ending with the session. Have a wonderful divine sleep. Thank you.